everyone, and welcome to HPCritical, a podcast where my friends and I talk all things gaming. I'm Jerel, your host for today, and I'm here with Brandon and Kristie, and this week we're talking all about Pokemon. Pokemon Sword and Shield was just released, so we're going to give a little bit of our impressions, what we like, what we dislike, how we're feeling about the game, where we feel it's going to go towards the end, and just, talking about Pokemon, because we all love Pokemon. So, I didn't ask this, but who wants to give their impressions first?
I'll take it away, sure.
Go ahead. It's all yours.
All right. So my Pokemon impressions. I should mention that I'm about 2 hours in on my personal playthrough. And if you don't mind me just plugging this real quick for the website, Jerel.
Please do.
I am also doing Shield version. That is being done. Myself and Kristie are playing through Pokemon Shield version for HPCritical Plus, our stream on Twitch. That is twitch.tv/HPCritical. We're playing it every Friday from 8 to 10, Shield version. But yeah, as far as my impressions on both Sword and Shield, I guess, since we're going through both versions, more so on Sword, I'm enjoying it so far. As far as Pokemon games go, I definitely see some improvements. I know there's a lot of people making comparisons to like other Switch games, and deservedly so. But if I'm judging it just from a Pokemon perspective, I think it's never looked prettier, to be quite frank. I love the choice of the Galar region being based on the UK. There's so many natural beauties out there, from like hills to like distant cities. It's a pretty nice blend of nature and civilization, all in all. So I love that. The Pokemon that I've seen so far, there's still a lot of new Pokemon I need to see, but the ones I've seen so far are really good. I really like the Pokemon design this time around. Wooloo is adorable. I think we can all agree on that one.
We can.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, thank you. I didn't want to be alone on that because Wooloo's cute. I chose Scorbunny for my starter. That's also the starter that we chose for our Shield stream on HPCritical Plus. I absolutely love Scorbunny. It is an adorable bunny. I love that it's like super hyped all the time. Its animation is literally just like kind of constantly like bouncing up and down. I've only seen its first pre-evolution so far, which I don't like as much as its starter form, but let's be real. Second evolutions are almost never as good as the final evolutions or the pre-evolutions, so that was not unexpected for me. I'm curious to see where it goes in the final evolution.
Pikachu.
What's that?
Except for Pikachu. The middle evolution looks adorable.
Yeah, because it is Pikachu.
Exactly.
Yeah. I personally think all three Pikachu evolutions are really good, but yes, the middle one is probably one of the best. But that's besides the point. No, it's actually not beside the point, because Pikachu is here. Pikachu is in every single Pokemon game. And that's the other thing, too. I haven't looked at the final dex counts. I've been trying to stay as spoiler-free as possible for this game. I know that out of the over 1,000 confirmed Pokemon that now exist, there's about 400, which, if that's just for one Pokedex, that is more than enough. In fact, before we started doing this podcast, I was thinking about like previous Pokedexes, how many of those have once the Pokemon numbers started getting too high. Like Hoenn had 200, even though there's over 300. For example, Sun and Moon had 300. 300 Pokemon, even though there's over 700. So this is not new. It's just the only difference is you can't necessarily catch every single Pokemon, and that's it's a downside because I know everyone has their favorites. But for the Pokemon that are there, I think it's a good amount that they've chosen. What else is there?
Can I speak on that really quick?
Sure, please do.
I know that I'm interrupting your impressions. I'm sorry.
No, please go ahead.
So I just have a very short statement about that. I am one of those people who is affected by the National Pokedex issue because.
Oh, I know. I was thinking about you when I made that statement.
Because almost all of my favorites are not there. Out of my top 6, only one of them, essentially 2, but basically only one of them made it into this Pokedex. And I think the biggest issue is just that there's no way to ever see those Pokemon in the game, which I completely understand because, even those past games, we were able to get them post-game, but in Sword and Shield so far, correct me if I'm wrong, but so far, even post-game, we're not going to be able to get the other Pokemon, and I think that's where people have been, having a few issues, just because I was just talking to my boyfriend, actually, about this situation, because I was talking about, the shiny Eevee and Ivy perfect stat Ninetales that I have sitting in a box that I will never see in Sword and Shield, or even my shiny Lopunny, who's also maxed out in Ivies and Eevees, ready for competition, who can't be in competition. But I also think that this Dex has such a cool combination of, and I say cool, not cute, because a lot of them aren't cute, but it has such a cool combination of new Pokemon that we haven't seen before, which is something I'm going to talk about when I talk about my impressions, and I think it's so cool, and it just, I don't even care that I'm missing so many that I like. It's not even an issue for me.
Yeah.
But continue.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm almost done, pretty much. The only other thing I'll say is, I know that one of the last trailers they had released before this game came out was the stuff that they're doing for the competitive scene. I'm not nowhere near the part where I'm concerning myself that I'm still very much focused on the adventure part of everything, and that comes later to me, if at all. But I like those improvements. I like what they've done for it. I like that the experience is divvied up to all your Pokemon. It prohibits, I mean, not prohibits, but it means you don't have to grind as much, which the early Pokemon games, the very early ones, where you had to grind quite a bit to get some of those later gyms, especially in Yellow version, surprisingly. There's a big power creep in the middle of that game where suddenly you're fighting level 30 Pokemon and suddenly Sabrina's coming at you to level 50 Alakazam, and I have no idea why that is a thing. But everything is so balanced. The wild area is great. I caught almost 40 Pokemon before even going to get myself registered for the gym challenge. That's insane. There's so many Pokemon just wandering around. And you could totally just wander into Pokemon that, have higher level than yourself and be forced to run away. But the fact that they're there in the first place is cool in the first place. Yeah, I'm excited to see what else is out there. It's very promising so far. I'm sure I'll have more to add on as either of you start talking as well, but that's what comes to mind at first.
I mean, for me, I'm about 2 hours in. I'm working my way to the first gym. For the most part, I really like the game visually. It's just so pretty compared to I enjoy Let's Go, but this game is just so visually pretty compared to Let's Go that I'm I can't believe that this is the first mainline Pokemon for the Switch.
Yeah. I'm excited to see because I think I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you either, but I think we're all in agreement that Gen 9 will probably be on the Switch as well, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So
the Switch isn't going anywhere, I don't think.
Yeah, exactly. So, and if history has been any indication, with Gen 6, they started off with X and Y, and that was, for Pokemon, that was a big jump, but then Sun and Moon just looked so much better. And then even going before that, Diamond and Pearl was a pretty big jump, but even Black and White was above that. So, like Kristie said, this game already looks really good. It's not taking the full advantage of the Switch, but it's doing stuff that the 3DS certainly couldn't. So I'm excited where Gen 9 will go. But for the first, mainline entry on the Switch, I like it. Continue, Kristie. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. But yeah, it's just so pretty. It's just so stunning visually. And even then, what I like the most about how they were doing the advertisement for this game, and especially with the trailers, they didn't really showcase all of the new Pokemon, which I really appreciate because as I'm going through the game, yes, I knew the starters, but as I'm going through the game and going into the first tall grass area and just encountering new Pokemon, it's this is a new Pokemon. It looks so cute. What was it? The first Pokemon I encountered in the tall grass was Nickit. And I was this is such a cute little fox Pokemon.
Favorite Pokemon right now. I love him so much.
He's on my team, and I love him dearly. And oh my goodness, he is the cutest little baby ever. Anyways, but
it's a cute fox.
But no, I just like the fact that we didn't see all of the new Pokemon all at once, so that way, as we're going through the journey, as we're going through the adventure, we're encountering these new Pokemon for the first time. And I think that was something that was lost in some of the previous generations. I felt like it was lost in Sun and Moon because
definitely
during Sun and Moon, I hated, honestly, I just didn't like Sun and Moon. And I mean, Ultra was an improvement, but it took me ages to finish Sun and Moon. But for this one, I can see myself playing it much more frequently just because everything is so new. There's so much that they held back that we still don't know what's in store for the game. What I also appreciate about this game is that the customization.
Oh, yes. Oh, my
God. You can customize earlier.
It's way better.
It's so much better. You can see the hairstyles in advance. You can pick and choose like how for the female character, you can pick and choose like how you want your eyelashes, whether or not you want lipstick and the contact lens. But I just like the fact that it just happened so much earlier, whereas in like Sun and Moon and I think X and Y, it took you ages before you can get to the trainer customization.
Oh yeah, it took forever. And that was the thing too. X and Y, they were touting that as like the big game with all these new fashion options, because it's based in Paris where fashion is huge. So if any gen was going to be the first to introduce it, it should have been X and Y. But we've come so far since then.
Mm-hmm. And then there was a nice quality of life. What was it? A nice small change to the game where you can finally skip the tutorial.
Yeah, that was great.
It was wonderful. Because I remember playing through each Pokemon game. What I hated the most was sitting through the tutorial. I've seen it in however many Pokemon games. And so just being able just to skip through the tutorial was the greatest thing ever. And not even that, but like in the Pokemon Center, when you go to the PCs, you can send your Pokemon out to various jobs and then they can gain XP.
Mm-hmm.
It's the greatest thing. It is the greatest thing ever. I never knew how great it was until it's like, oh wow, this is great.
So, are you finished?
Yes.
Okay. So my quick impressions. I think this game should be called Pokemon Quality of Life because it is literally the best Pokemon game ever. It is so addictive. I was out earlier today and I just kept thinking, oh my God, I want to go home and play. Oh my God, I want to go home and catch up. But that's how addictive this game is. We played for hours. I had a Pokemon party for release yesterday. We played for hours on end, and we didn't even notice. And that I think is so special. Speaking of customization, one of the things that I love about this game's customization is the fact that what you said, Kristie, is totally on point. It comes so much earlier, but also it is so unique. I have literally not seen any of my friends' trainers look like anyone else's. Like they've added so much options and so many like opportunities to look unique that when I'm in the wild area, I still have not seen two trainers that look alike. And there's so many people just bursting in the wild area all the time. And even among us, all of our friends and everyone on the site, we all just look so different. And I think that's so cool because in older games, I mean, I've come across a few people that look like my character, but to be so unique in a Pokemon game, it's just astounding to me. And also, like you said, the brand new, the fresh, I don't know what this Pokemon is going to become. I've never seen this before. Part of the adventure has been amazing. So thank goodness that they held back so much. I kind of wish I hadn't seen, Galarian Ponyta before because I can only imagine myself seeing that in the wilds for the first time and going crazy.
Or like Sirfetch'd.
Yeah, I don't like Sirfetch'd that much.
But honestly, it's like you see Sirfetch'd, you're like training your Farfetch'd, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, he evolves?
Cool. That would be so cool. I appreciate that they did it though, because it was like a big hype moment, but I agree with the marketing for this game. I think the quality of life improvements are so amazing. I know that we've always had the shortcut to throw a Pokeball, but everything just looks better. Like when you just see the little X button with the Pokeball above your menu button or above your info button when you're battling, it just looks so good. The UI in this game, oh my gosh, it's simplistic, but so sleek. It's gorgeous. Like it looks so updated. Like it looks so adult in a weird way. Like it looks like a very. Go ahead.
It's adult in a style. It's adult in a very stylish way, which I think is the important distinction. Like I played Persona 5 earlier this year, and believe you me, I was already a menu snob. That's the whole reason why I'm not turned on by a whole lot of like Western games, especially Western RPGs, because their menus are just so bland. And then I played Persona 5, and I was like, oh my god, every RPG that has a trash menu is going to be ruined for me now. So I'm glad that Pokemon has like a very nice looking UI. I very much appreciate it.
It looks so good. Like, and even, a lot of people were talking about battle animations. Kristie, you mentioned Nickit was one of the first Pokemon that you fought.
He's so cute.
The battle
little
animations for
the
Nickit.
tail whip
Yes.
wag.
Yes.
It's the cutest. And then the what was it? The beat 'em up or the beat up one?
The beat up.
It
It's
looks so good.
cute.
All of the animations for just that one Pokemon, those animations are all so good, and that's why he's never leaving my team. And I've seen other Pokemon animations, and they just look so good. And the game is gorgeous.
I'm so sorry to butt in, but talking about animation, have you guys played with your Pokemon yet?
Oh my god!
Yes.
Yes.
I have.
It is the cutest thing ever. Oh my goodness.
It was so cute.
I had Nickit in my party, and I was playing with Nickit at my campsite, and oh my goodness, just playing like fetch was the cutest thing
Man.
ever.
I
was like, oh.
I had a Togepi. I got a Togepi from a raid battle, and if you ever get the chance, throw the ball at Togepi and have him bring it back. It is literally the cutest thing I have ever in my life seen.
Have you seen the Wooloo?
I haven't. I'm gonna.
Wooloo like rolls to the ball
my
and then like knocks it back at you, and you're like, this is the cutest thing.
I'm definitely gonna have to try this after this podcast now.
Thanks for having me on the podcast. I gotta go play some Sword real quick.
Something else that I love, and I'm obviously still discovering this because I haven't been too spoiled with the game, is some of the type pairings of the new Pokemon in this generation have been so unique and so different.
Yes.
And I think that's going to add so much longevity to like competitive battles, and it's going to bring a new, fresh take on battling in the game for post game stuff. Like there's some Pokemon that are dark fairy types, some bug psychic types, like. And I know that that's out there already, but like there's a lot of new dark type Pokemon, and there's just so many cool combinations that are going to make changes to the way that we play Pokemon now. And I love that. It looks great. It's addictive. I played exclusively, almost exclusively rather, on TV. I did play on handheld, and it was a little small, having played I played for like 5 hours on TV, and then pulled it off the TV, and I was like, oh, this is not as... It was okay. It's not bad. I don't want it to sound like I'm saying it's bad, but it's a big difference. But even playing it handheld, you can still see that it is still a really gorgeous game. And so I commend Game Freak for that.
Honestly, I've been playing it mostly in handheld. I'm sorry to butt in.
No,
I've been mostly playing it in handheld, and when I played it on TV, I was like, no, this game has been optimized for just like it's best played on the TV.
It really is.
Yeah.
Just because the handheld, you just can't get the same feeling.
Mm-hmm. So I'm done with my impressions. So since I'm, bringing up things that are not so great, what are some of the things that you guys aren't really liking about Sword and Shield, or something that you're looking forward to, that you would change? Some things that you aren't too happy about with Sword and Shield.
I'll tell you right off the bat, early impressions on Team Yell. Boy, they're tracking to be like the worst team of the series.
Oh,
I'll just say that. Yeah. I mean, I just met them, but I mean, even back when they first got revealed, when they were doing promotional stuff, I wasn't a fan of like their idea. Like, it's a team that's literally just like toxic fans of one person who, I don't know if either of you have met Marnie yet, but she doesn't even.
She's so sweet.
She's incredibly sweet. I don't know how she got these people behind her, but yeah, just on a general thing, like Team Yell, if we go a gen back with Team Skull, like they really didn't do much either. They were just kind of like stupid thugs, but that was part of their charm in a way. Like, and they were funny. They were funny more than anything else. They were just entertaining. With Team Yell, they're the same, but first of all, I think their designs are way worse than Team Skull, and they're not entertaining. I'm just like, ugh, already at them. And like,
I feel like that might kind of be their purpose, but I also agree with you that but I do still like get your point, and I completely agree with your point that it all, like, I don't want to feel that ugh. So like, I completely agree with you.
And now that you said it, yeah, the ugh might be the point, but yeah, like, I don't know. I mean, I can't think of like Is there any team like quick aside? Is there any teams that either of you like barring Yell that you two saw when you played a Pokemon game in the past that you just didn't like initially and maybe came around to them later? Anything that comes out like not really?
I can't
because Skull, yeah, okay. I mean that's kind of the general one for most people. Galactic, I hated at first from Gen 4. I kind of came around to them later. It's mostly their theme. They had a really cool battle theme. And actually, Team Yell has a pretty cool battle theme too, so I'll give him that point. But yeah.
Well, what else do you dislike, or was that it?
No. There's definitely more. Like Team Yell is just the big one because boy, do I not like them compared to other teams. Like, oof. Other than that, it's hard to think of like negative stuff like right off the bat. But
Can I like a little bit?
Yeah. Go ahead. While I get a couple of some.
One of my dislikes is, and this is actually not really to do with the game. Well, okay, my first one is I don't like the starter evolutions at all. That's just obviously personal.
I can't comment on that. I've only seen the first evolution for Scorbunny and Grookey so far.
I just don't like them. So boo. That's just me though. The one that I was going to talk about is not necessarily a Pokemon thing, but oh my goodness, the lag in the wild area is so bad.
Oh, it can get bad if you're playing online.
It is just not great, but I mean...
I haven't been there. I haven't, not yet, online for wild areas. Should I be worried?
Not wonderful. It's kind of like playing Smash Online. I don't know if you guys play Smash Online a lot, but if you do like random battles, and there was one time that I was playing online with my boyfriend, and we just suicided, like we just hopped off the ledge, like all four people that were playing, like the lag was so bad that we just quit. It can get like that sometimes in the wild area.
It's never gotten that bad for me. Like, I've seen lag, for sure, but it's never gotten so bad where it becomes a slideshow or anything like that, like Smash can sometimes.
Like, that has never happened to me in Smash, so I can't really comment on that.
Well, you're very lucky. I've been in places with really good internet, and it still happened. So, but like I said, that's kind of like a Switch Online thing more so than a Pokemon thing.
Very true.
That... And, Kristie, is there anything you disliked before we come back around?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out because
this is good.
Still pretty
I like
early
that.
In the game.
I like this.
But
that is hard to come up with this. Like, I mean, when we go further, I'm sure we'll probably have more. We should probably even do like a post impressions as well.
I would love to.
Yeah.
But I guess another thing is like as far as the towns I've visited so far, so first of all, the towns are visually very nice looking. I mentioned that when I was talking about the Galar region in general. It looks really nice. But the towns, there's still a lot of towns for me to explore, so this could change. But none of them have felt particularly striking so far. I don't know, because I've been spoiled by Castelia City from Black and White and Lumio City from X and Y, which were humongous cities. Or even, I can't remember the city name right now, but the first major city you visit in Sun and Moon on the first island. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, that one. It's not that city's not as big as Lumios or Castelia, but it's the biggest one of X and Y, I want to say. Anyways, the point I'm getting at is like, I thought of those cities when I thought of like a console Pokemon game. And I was like, oh my god, if you could do a city like Castelia or Lumios on those handheld systems, what can you do on a console system? I haven't really seen anything like that yet. I would have thought that the city where the gym challenge is supposed to begin, where there's big ceremony and all that pomp and circumstance, that would be the big city. This one wasn't. And maybe, I don't know, maybe the cities where you'll finally do the final gym championship will be bigger, but I mean, I'm hoping I'm wrong, but it just doesn't seem like the cities are big enough considering that there's a console game. They look big, they look beautiful, but they're about the same size.
You know what's so funny that you say that? I actually think the opposite. I think they're too big, and the reason I say that is because I think that they're empty. I've gone through because you do a lot of you guys know you do a lot of roundabouts in the beginning, like you're basically walking in a circle, you go home, you leave, you go back home, and I don't think that the starting area is that big. But then I got to the wild area, and I was like, oh my god, it's going to take me forever to go from one end to the other without a bike, because this is my first time in the wild area. And then when I got to then the first like big city, I was like, oh, this is huge. But then I'm walking around and I'm like, oh, this is also a lot of empty space. Like,
Yeah.
you are restricted on where you can go. But it was not as, like, I felt like it was a little too big, for all the emptiness. But that's just me.
No, I think that's
I
a
don't
fair
really
point.
like. I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
What I really don't like are the routes. I feel like the routes are a bit too small.
Yeah, that's yes. So the
Or
cities
are they
are
too
huge.
short?
The cities are huge and empty, but then from like Route 1 to 2, it's not even that long. Like, it's pretty short. Which brings me to another point. So sorry for cutting you off, but thank you for reminding me. There came a point when I was like exploring in the beginning and I was like, oh, I guess I have found every Pokemon in this route that's like catchable. And then you know how you have the exclamation point, which is supposed to give you, you know, more unique Pokemon to the area.
Yes.
They weren't that unique after a while. I kept getting like the same Pokemon that I actually saw in the overworld sometimes.
Yeah,
Not all
yeah.
the time, but sometimes that would happen and I'd be like, I don't even know if it's worth it to go run into an exclamation point every single time. I do love seeing the Pokemon in the overworld. I do love the suspense and surprise of the exclamation points. I just wish they were a little more varied. Like, if I found another Lotad, I was going to kill myself. If I found another Wingull, I was going to be upset. Like, and it was, I wish that there was a bigger variety, sometimes when you're exploring.
Oh, I just thought of something that I wish that this game had just now, just as you said that. So we have, like you just said, we have Pokemon that appear in the tall grass that you can actually see them, right? So the models are out there moving, and then the wild area, of course, has the same thing where the Pokemon are just out there strolling around minding their own business and whatnot. So I totally get that there's roughly 400 Pokemon in this Pokedex compared to the 153 Pokemon in the Let's Go Pokedex. But damn it, we lost Pokemon following us again, and that makes me sad.
Yes. I was talking to my friend about, she was just like, oh, I wish that, you know, I could carry my Grookey on my shoulder. And I was like, oh.
Yes.
I know,
Like,
it was
I didn't-
adorable.
And it's funny too, because I didn't think about that until like a few hours ago, and then I saw this video where they were talking about their impressions, similar to what we're doing, right? Mm-hmm. And then they mentioned how they miss having the Pokemon follow them, like riding across an Arcanine on like routes, or having an Electro just roll behind them. And then all I could think about was like, but so I missed out a chance on Wooloo rolling behind me,
Right?
or if I could, or riding on Lapras across the ocean in the wild area, like,
But that's another good. The wild area is amazing.
Yeah.
It is just so much fun. I think what I love the most is just seeing everyone, like seeing real people in real time playing Pokemon. I did some max raid battles yesterday. They're also fun. Much less. So that's another quick disappointment, is that they're much less challenging than I assumed they would be. I was in a group with 2 friends and a random person who joined us, and he was higher level than us, and he literally one-shotted the Gigantamax Pokemon, and it was like a higher level encounter. This is one of the purple ones that was like stronger, and he just came in and wrecked it. And I was like, oh my god, we're all so useless. But I'm hoping that they add a little more challenge to them, because so far all I've really seen, I don't know if you guys have been able to do it yet, but all I've really seen is that you're like, one person will definitely get one shot killed. Like, either it'll be a one-shot kill or it'll be really, really close to them dying, which I think is great challenge-wise. But by the time we all had a round, we pretty much just killed them. So I do hope that does become a little more challenging. Playing with AI sometimes, they just suck. Like, it's much better with friends, and I'm hoping to see where it evolves. But the wild area is amazing.
It really is. It's a great new feature. I would love to see something like this expanded for future games.
You know, That's another thing I hate. So the wild area gives me a free camera. As soon as I got to the next area, I was still trying to control the camera, and I couldn't. And I was like, no!
Yeah.
It sucks to have that ability being taken away from you. I tried so hard.
You get like a hint of the future, and then we're back to Pokemon.
Yep. But overall, it is probably so far my favorite Pokemon game that I've played to date.
It's very promising so far.
It is.
even though it's missing literally 5 of my 6 favorites, I love it that much so far. And I haven't even gotten to the first gym leader. I've spent, and I know you guys haven't either. We've all spent so much time just exploring, and I think that's so great to be able to just explore in a Pokemon world and just not care to progress. And Grayson mentioned, that it's probably the longest he's taken from like start to get to a Pokemon gym. Like he's 5 hours in and he just got to the Pokemon gym. I am like 3 or 4 hours in and I'm still not there because I spent a bunch of time catching new Pokemon, leveling them up. I want to see, what do they evolve into, which is really annoying because I love some of them and then they become really ugly and then I feel like I wasted my time and I'm so upset, but I'm just whatever. That's just me. But I do love that sense of adventure is back with Sword and Shield. So far, the story has been, okay. It's not as good as previous games' stories.
Yeah,
it's
I
all
agree
right.
with that.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Obviously, I gotta see how it evolves. Evolves.
As long as it's better than Sun and Moon, because I did not like the storyline for Sun and Moon, I'll be happy.
Yeah, I agree with Brandon. I don't really like Team Yell. I'm like, okay, I'm waiting to see where this goes, but
I kind of like what I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I kind of like what they did with Skull near the end.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, and like, go ahead. I have something to say, but you finish your thought first.
Okay, I was gonna say, but I do love, and this is something I love, the character designs for the trainers, the gym leaders that I've seen so far have been I think they all just look so great. This game is so diverse, which is amazing to me. Like I love that there are so many different looking trainers. There's like characters that you see that they all look so unique. I am in love with the character designs in this game, and even the trainer look. Like I love the way the trainers look. I hate that the boys don't have as many customization options. I'm super jealous because I don't like the hairstyles for the dudes. Some of the clothes I'm like, and I've seen the girl customization. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna start over and play as a girl because it's so cool and so pretty. So I wish that the guys had a little more help on the fashion side. Not to say that it's bad, because it's not bad. I don't like the hairstyles, but the clothes are pretty cool. I love that we have so many options. But man, those character designs, I am in love with them. Except for Leon. He looked like he got a little struggle when he was getting dressed.
That's what I was gonna say. I love Leon so far.
Leon needs to decide what he wants to look like because he looks like 5 different things at once.
I like it. The only thing I don't like about it is that he has all those sponsorships on his cape, which kind of ruins it. Which I have a love-hate relationship with it because I like that it's more realistic to like sports. That of course he's the champion, of course he'd have this many sponsors, but it kills the cape, man. It kills the cape.
He needs to just drop that cape.
At this point, he should. But I like it so much, even though it's ruined by those sponsors.
So as a wrap up, I know I talked a lot, but before I wrap up, is there anything else you guys want to talk about Sword and Shield, impression wise?
I mean, I really like the music.
Music is great. I can't believe none of us have talked about the music. It's so good. We did talk a little about Team Yell's theme, but yeah, everything other thing that I've heard so far is so amazing. Like, I've been loving the music. Sonya's theme is really good. Like, Sonya's theme is a bop. And I can't wait to hear the gym leader themes, champion themes. We know that Toby Fox had that song, which I heard the sample of it. I can't wait to hear the full version of that wherever that plays in the game. Like, there's so much to look forward to. I'm so excited, music wise, and just game wise.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. I agree. I can't really talk on the music that much because we had like 3 or 4 screens and like 5 different people playing at one time, so there's lots of overlapping.
Nice. Yeah,
I couldn't focus too much, but I'm happy that you guys love it because if you love it, I probably will also love it.
Yeah, it feels very strong so far. I feel like even at the end, even if we because like we go back to our Kingdom Hearts 3 podcast, we had a lot of nitpicks about that game, but we still absolutely loved that game.
True.
All 3 of us.
Yes.
So like I feel like by the end of this game, by the end of Adventure, I feel like we're gonna have a few nitpicks. I feel like by the end there'll be some stuff that will really have bothered us, but by the end I think we're gonna enjoy the adventure that we'll have, and we'll be able to keep playing together. Raids, collecting, battling, and stuff like that. We're gonna have fun with this game for a long time, and that's what Pokemon is, man.
Yep.
Sword.
I think the gameplay is amazing. I think the animations are amazing. I've said that Fire Emblem Three Houses is my game of the year so far. But Pokemon is in the running, and I haven't even gotten that far yet. And I just am obsessed with this game, guys. I know this is just the honeymoon phase because I just started and I'm loving it, but I am really obsessed with it. I am very obsessed with it. Any last minute comments before we wrap up?
I think that might be it.
I think that might be it. I'm gonna become the next champion. Leon's undefeated streak will go dead by me.
Which reminds me, sorry, I just remembered something. I really like Hop as a rival.
Yeah, he's a nice rival. You know what? I'm okay. I'm cool with Hop.
Hop is Hop.
Hop is Hop.
I think he's all right. I feel like he's a little try hard.
I think there's been better rivals in the past. My personal favorite to this day is Silver from Gold and Silver.
I really love Silver.
Silver's great. He took everything. Like Blue was a little too obnoxious. Silver just took it to the next level, and then he actually had a character arc to him, to where he actually realized what he did was wrong. That's a whole other topic. But basically, Hop is, I like Hop. There's been way better rivals than Hop, but Hop is nice.
I feel bad for Hop because he keeps telling me that he's going to be the champion, and I just keep wanting to tell him he is not. He's like, I'm going to be the next champion with my brother. I'm like, oh, sweetie, you have no idea that I'm going to kill you.
Oh man, poor Hop. Poor Hop.
What I kind of hope is that if whatever the next Pokemon game for the main line is going to be, I kind of hope that maybe Hop will be champion. Like it's a direct sequel, Black 2 and White 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would approve of that.
There's more potential in the game.
I just want them in general to bring back more stuff from because with Pokemon games they always do that with the later versions, never the first versions. They don't tend to go as hard with references to past games into later versions. I was low. Me and a lot of other people were low key hoping that with Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, Lily would make a cameo because at the end of Sun and Moon she mentions that she's going to Kanto. So they're hoping that you'd be able to fight her, have a battle with her, but that didn't happen.
I hope there's more fire Pokemon because so far we've been lacking.
They have been kind of lacking.
I've seen a lot of dark Pokemon. I was gonna say water too. I've seen a lot of dark Pokemon. I like that I know I did say that I love that we're exploring new typings, and giving precedent to other types that aren't so prevalent in the Pokemon series. But where are my water types? Where are my fire types? I'm struggling. I'm looking for some cuties. I didn't pick up Sobble, and I have not grabbed a water Pokemon yet because everything I've fished has just been Magikarp, who do nothing. And I don't want a Magikarp that's going to do nothing. And the only fire type I've seen so far is Scorbunny. So obviously we're going to keep playing. But yeah, I'm looking for some more typings. Hopefully I can fill out my Pokedex with something other than dark type Pokemon. But anyway, so there goes our impressions of Pokemon Sword and Shield. Stay tuned so that we can update you later on when we played a bit more. And thanks for listening, and we will see you all later. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Later.